So, as you guys can see by the title of the video, we're going to be talking about Juke. If you guys don't know Juke, yes, I'm talking about the YouTuber, the Twitch streamer. That's who I'm talking about. The person that you guys know as my best friend and somebody I've uploaded a ton of videos about. Or with, not about. I definitely recommend going to watch Jack's videos. He has a part 1, part 2 up, linked in the description down below. I will warn you now, part 2 is very, very disturbing, so go into that knowing that it's going to be bad, but trust me, you cannot prepare for what's shown in that video. I want to make this video because I found out some new stuff, and I honestly feel guilty, and try not to cry. I just want to say, if any of you guys were ever affected by Juke, or if he's ever said anything to you guys that made you feel uncomfortable, if you guys want to reach out to me and talk to me, you guys can. There's DMs on Twitter and Discord. You guys always reach out. And I lastly want to say sorry to the 17-year-old that Juke might have been talking about here. If you're another victim, I want to apologize personally for not speaking out at all. I did not know the extent of how serious this whole situation was, and I apologize for that. And I hope you can forgive me. So before we get into this, I would initially like to say that I did not understand the story fully. I was never told the actual story, but come to find out that after I just talked to somebody, not going to say names because I don't want anybody else involved, I just found out that the thing that Juke described to me could actually be another victim. I really want to make this clear. So I think that makes 5 victims of Juke. I don't know about how far he went with these other people, and I'm not gonna say names or anything like that. But if you guys have any experience with Juke, or he has said anything to you guys that made you feel uncomfortable, or has done anything else, please reach out to somebody. Doesn't have to be me, but again, I'm here if you need somebody to talk to. So in the middle of editing this video, I just got a message from my friend. I'm not going to say names, but Juke also lied to Jax. He did not delete his YouTube, and he also did not delete his Twitter. He privated his YouTube, so it looks like he deleted it, and it'll say it doesn't exist. And he only deactivated his Twitter, and Twitter can be reactivated before 30 days, but if you don't reactivate within 30 days, it will delete the Twitter account. But yeah, he's not off social media. He has not deleted any of his social media whatsoever. All right, so getting into what Juke told me, he messaged me on October 28th. He said, you up? I said, no. He said, liar. I said, no. What do you want? Keep in mind, this was before he was outed as a pedo. I did not know he was a pedo either yet. He said, just wanted to rant about some of the stuff that happened yesterday. Because at this point, I did not know why he was banned. I just knew that he was banned. That's it. I said, you can rant, but I don't want a VC. He said, no, just typing rant. So the reason I got banned and such was because I made sexual approaches to a 17-year-old. First off, if I recall correctly, I was drunk as F. Secondly, he was about to be 18. Thirdly, he told me that it was okay, basically after he cried to him in regret, telling him I was sorry for saying stuff he said he would never tell anyone. So I'm pissed about that, and I effed up. Banning me from the Discord is understandable, but the game, like, bro, he was about to turn 18, and I know I effed up. I'm not a groomer or a pedo. I took this message as he said a couple inappropriate things to a 17-year-old that was about to be 18 in 3 days. Keep in mind, he told me that the person was going to be 18 in 3 days in a voice chat when I talked to him later date in a voice chat. So I didn't think anything like too bad, like 3 days. I didn't think it was like red flags like that he's a pedo. And again, I don't know exactly about all of this. I was told that this could be a second victim, and I don't know, man. I wish I said something now, and I can't change the fact that I didn't. My judgment was clouded because I was best friends with this guy. I known him since 2016, so obviously as a best friend and somebody that I talk to every single day, I wouldn't think the worst about him. So now I feel super guilty that I didn't speak up, and I'm sorry if the person that he was talking about in this message got hurt in any way, and I really hope he didn't. And then he went on to say, all I know is I effed up, and I'm not a pedophile, and I said some effed up stuff, but I know I was wrong. They were from the UK and 18, I'm pretty sure. I think he was talking about the age of consent there, or of age is 18 in the UK. And this is where, when I was lining up the timelines with Jack's video, like not at this time because Jack's video didn't come out for a while after this, but after watching that video, I went back to this message and I looked at this, and I genuinely thought that he was talking about the victim in Jack's video, but he just changed around like the story a little bit. Yeah, that's how all that went. But again, like I said, my judgment was clouded, I think because he was my best friend. I known him for so long. So obviously I'm not going to think the worst about him, and I didn't get red flags that he was a pedo from this message, and maybe I should have, but again, I didn't. So I was also in Jack's part 2 video where Juke told Jax that 3 of his friends told him different things that he should do. I was one of those 3, and as you can see from this message, you should be able to know which one's me. I think I was the 3rd one, I don't know. But I said, personally, if I were you, I would make a video about the situation. It would benefit you and no one can use it against you. Also, don't have to hide it. Coming out and saying it and showing it and showing you regret it is better than someone exposing you down the road. And he obviously did not come forward or say anything. I really wanted him to own up to it and never do this again. That's why I was telling him to do this. And then after that day, we kind of just went back to normal. But what I will say is our friendship did slowly decline and like talking to each other. But I really want to make it clear that the way he worded this to me, I understood it as he said just like very minor things that isn't like too crazy. That's the way I took it as. And the person being 3 days from being 18, I did not get any like major red flags or thought it was like super bad. And maybe that's my fault. But again, he was my best friend at the time, so clearly I just want to not think the worst of him. And now that this happened, I don't really trust anybody anymore. So another detail that I forgot to put in here, I'm adding this in while I'm editing it, but Juke did get me to talk to certain developers of games to keep him unbanned. And again, like I said, I wasn't aware of the actual situation that was going down, only the story that Juke gave me, and I was still going based off of that. I'm not going to say the name of the games, but I will say it's not Phantom Forces. I was not involved in that whole thing that Jax said in his second video. I was not involved with that, but it was other games. But I just want to let you guys know that I made up for my mistakes of keeping him unbanned for future games that I did not talk to them about, but I did let those newer games that aren't out yet know of his Roblox ID, and I sent them the video and everything to make sure he does get banned. And the people that I did message to keep him unbanned in game, by the way, he was banned in all Discords. I made sure of that one. But anybody that I did message about keep him unbanned in game, I corrected that mistake, and he is now banned in every FPS game that I personally know of. Soon after that message and everything, I would say maybe throughout that same month leading to the next one, we slowly would stop talking to each other. It would be more Juke stop responding to me as much, but basically it just got to a point where the friendship was super one-sided. Whenever Juke would message me about anything, I would respond. If I ever message him, he wouldn't respond for days on end. And at the same time, whenever I would be in a VC with him or talk to him in DMs, watch his streams, listen to his jokes, the people he hang around, everything about him just started to change. And I did not notice the person he was anymore. So about a week and a half to 2 weeks before Jax even made a video, and I was not aware about the Jax video coming out at all. I mean, me and him just kind of parted ways. I unfriended him and all that. And there's actually a conversation here that happened after Jack's video. So a little bit after Jack's video came out, he did try to talk to me a lot. Again, like I said, I unfriended him and I stopped talking to him. He sent me a message saying, dude, okay, just because I don't respond to all your messages don't mean you can't. You can too wrong, don't make it right. And I said, Juke, that isn't why I'm not talking to you. Don't be stupid. Me being around you and talking to you is nothing but bad for me. It's all gonna stay that way, sorry. He said, we can't talk privately, TF. I said, no, dude. You lost my friendship after you became unrecognizable to me and many others. The Juke that I knew prior to you coming out is entirely a different person. And the recent stuff on top of all that just further proves how I feel. And right here, the recent stuff, I was talking about Jack's video and everything that came out about him. I have nothing against you coming out, all that, but the amount you've changed after this is out of this world. And Juke said, I don't know what to say, man. I don't want to lose our friendship. I really don't. I'm sorry. And then Jack's second part of the video finally came out on 02/26/2022. And this is what I said. Keep in mind, there was a first version of this message. I didn't send it. I firstly asked my friends if I should send this, but I was told to delete some stuff. There's also another version that I typed out before I showed my friends to make sure if I should send it or not. It was much worse than the second one, but I was furious. I felt absolutely betrayed. Like, I really did. I've been friends with this guy and spending time with this guy every single day since 2016. And to find out that I've been hanging around a guy that's done this to somebody, it really hurts me. And yeah, definitely readjusting who I talk to and who I keep in my inner circle. So this is what I went ahead and said. I'm actually a loss of words, dude. Like, WTF did I just watch on you? WTF happened to my best friend? This is my final message to you, and you better get some effing help, because none of what I just saw is okay in any way. I am obligated to make sure people in my community stay far away from you, and because a couple people from my community came out to me showing sus stuff that you said to them from you, and I am to blame for not catching this sooner. Goodbye. So adding something else here, because it sounds bad how I worded it and ended it here. So I want to clarify it. I didn't get DMs of people sending me sus stuff about him until after the first video. And keep in mind, I didn't say anything after the first video because Jax literally said don't advertise it, so I didn't want to say anything until after the second video came out, and so I knew everything first. So I just want to clear that up as well. But yeah, Jax didn't want the first video get a ton of attention, because firstly he wanted to get the second part out so he could really get all the information. If anybody new popped up after the first video, he can put them in the second video, things like that. So yeah, that's why I didn't advertise it or say anything after the first video. Just keep that in mind. And I feel super guilty about everything, because now that I just found out today as I'm recording this video that what he said to me earlier about the 17-year-old being 3 days from 18, that apparently that's another victim, because after part 1 and part 2, I thought that what Juke said to me was the same person from those videos. The victim in that was the same person. He just changed around the ages and like where they live to try to make it seem more okay for me to obviously not get rid of him and stuff like that. But come to find out, that person that he was talking about could be another victim. So whoever that was, I really hope you did not get hurt, and I'm sorry for not trying to do something about it. Soon after my goodbye message, Juke responded saying, I've been in therapy since December, dude. I told you this. And from my experience of knowing Juke, he most definitely is not in therapy. If you guys don't know, I was going to move in with this guy with a couple of my friends. And he was never reliable when it comes to like saving money. He could never tell me the truth about where his money is going. It would just disappear. And not only that, he would lie for like weeks that he still had a job that he actually quit or lost. He's done that multiple times and lied about having a job. So I guarantee you, I would put money on him not actually going to therapy here when he told me. Not only that, Jax, in his video, he says that he lied about the date that he went and then changed it. So it's even bigger lie now. And I wasn't going to show this part in the video because he starts to go over excuses to try to make what he's done not as bad, which I find absolutely disgusting, because there's nothing that you could say to make this better in any way. And the fact that he thought he could say things, just tiny things, to try to make the situation not seem as bad, I found absolutely disgusting. Keep in mind, this is a little long, and I'm going to be pausing and talking about certain areas, so if you guys would rather pause and read it yourself and skip forward, you guys can, but I'm going to go through this. Juke went on to say, also, I don't know who TF you are talking about from your community, but please show me that. Juke here was trying to get me to show who else is talking about him, and obviously I'm not going to show him that, but that just goes to show that there's probably more than what I know. And right now I think is about 5 people, and a lot of them, none of them really want to be talked about at all. So I'm not going to say any names or anything. Then he went on to say, there's a reason my YouTube doesn't exist, and I've left any servers that has to do with Roblox YouTubers and stuff because I'm done with Roblox. Now, he might be telling the truth about the whole Roblox side of things, but him saying that his YouTube doesn't exist, that is a lie. His YouTube is privated. It still exists. You just can't see it right now. So at any time he can make it public and do anything he wants with it. He said, I don't do that stuff anymore. The last actual thing that happened in November, there's a screenshot from December of me saying I love you and I'm not a pedo, but it's taken out of context. A lot of what he said, both videos taken out of context. And then he went on to say, for example, he said I drove to the person's house and didn't pull in instantly because I was checking for cops and I wasn't. And then he said I missed the driveway, so I had to turn around. But he construed it in a way that made it seem like I was checked to make sure I wasn't going to get caught or some stuff. And then after that, he said the reason I went to hang out with them wasn't for what happened, and I went to hang out and watch movies and just chill. And then that happened, and I left practically the next day. This absolutely disgusts me. This makes me so mad because based on the DMs and how they talked back and forth, Juke did have the intention of going there and do what he did, just based off of how he was talking to the 16-year-old. He knew what he was doing, and he was trying to make it seem like he didn't mean for it to happen. Yeah, okay. He goes on to say, it was morally wrong of me, and I wish I hadn't left. I really do. If I could go back and stop all of this, you know damn well I would. That's all I have to say. I'm sorry for all this. I'm sorry for the stress this has caused you before he made the video. I had already apologized who needed the apology and started therapy. I wanted to move on, and I guess people didn't want to let it go. I made a public apology, and I still wanted to make a video. Like it's it's for some sort of clout or something. There's a few things here I want to point out. First of all, Juke, if you're watching this video, your name is not bringing the clout to the videos, nor is the video that popular for it to, you know, have clout. It needs more attention, and that's why I'm sending people over there and warning more people about your actions. They're not using your name for clout. What's giving it clout is the fact that you're a Roblox YouTuber and you're a pedo and you try to hide it all. And it's a good thing that he's speaking out about it. After he said all of that, I went on to say, did you even watch the second video? He said a piece, not the whole thing. I said there's a massive difference from saying something on Discord than actually meeting up and doing stuff. He said, I'm aware. I said, there's no excuses and you won't get empathy from me. He said, I didn't expect any. I said, I'm not going to show you stuff that other people posted because I'm not allowing you to know who they are. That was me making sure, or just telling him that he's not getting anything from me. He said, I understand. And then I went on to say, but I know there is more than shown in the video. People that shown me do not want to be outed, and I respect their request. He said, yeah, no, I get it. I said, I allowed you in my community and in my videos, and I spent almost every single day with you. He said, I really don't know what to say to you that hasn't already been said. You've known me this long, and it isn't something I wanted to happen. This isn't something I've been doing for years. This isn't something I'll ever do again. Last year, it was a really low point in my life, and I made some decisions. I said some things that are wrong. So here, it really upsetted me because he tried saying like, oh, you know the real me, and I wouldn't do this, but you did do it. And then he also said, he tried a little bit of guilt trip here that he was a really low point in his life. I don't care. The age doesn't change. And then I went on to say, I feel guilty by association, so I will continue to make sure to tell people in my community because I don't want anyone else getting hurt. I want people to know you. I want people that know me from. Oh, it's so hard to read this, dude. I said I feel associated, and I will continue to make sure people, or to tell people in the community because I don't want anyone getting hurt. And I want people to know you through me. I feel guilty. He said, I regret all of it and I understand. Goodbye, Juke. He said, later, man, I'm sorry again. I didn't do something back then because I didn't understand the seriousness of the situation, and the way he worded it made it feel like he only said a couple minor things to that person, and I feel bad for not getting any red flags about him. And I don't want to make the excuse that he was my best friend, but he was. So obviously, as I think a lot of you guys would, if somebody's your best friend and you've spent the past, I don't know, 6 years talking to the guy every single day, and you couldn't believe he could do something like this, I would like to think some of you guys wouldn't think the worst of your best friend, but maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'm just using that as an excuse. If you guys feel that way, I apologize, and hopefully someday you can forgive me. I'm gonna go. Later.